Hi guys, take two of my review of the NXT episode from the 14th of April, the short episode review. So we start off with um um we start off with obviously Jada Parker and Jada Parker and Annie Jordan um and and well making their entrance is for them after about a pack each so essential essentially this is one of the bigger grudge matches on the show, and I have to actually say that this is one of the bigger grudge matches. You have Kalani Jordan will work the egg after she comes down and Parker's with eggs. Jada Parker, I didn't realise had any had a sort of new entrance, new music. The crowd chant Miss Parker through the entrance. Um, how Annie does expose the middle turn, but her cool on the left hand side of the ring. Um, it does actually come into play at the end of the match as Parker hits hypnotic into the turnbuckle. She's in pain. Kalani goes up for the moonsault and gets the victory. Throughout the match, though, I would like to say that Kalani Jordan did do a nice bit of trash talking and even mocking the high step maneuver that Jada Parker does. It obviously gives Kalani the and keeps her strong as Jordan won the as Jada Parker, sorry, on the previous encounter. Um, Jada hit a Falcon Arrow in the match. It looked impressive. Um, Jada did have a lot of um, have quite a bit of comeback offense, but and he picks up the win as a result of the injured toe egg. So yeah, only the kind to me insulter calls it does it for Jordan. Then we get to the Joe Hendry concert. Joe Hendry says he may have lost the title to uh, Tony D, but he lands on getting back in contention. His song actually includes Ethan Page and Ricky Saints being on the same page again. As before this segment, we see him and we see him and other we see him and Ethan Page have a conversation. Page tells Saints to help him Shiloh Hill is in the background. Shiloh Hill is basically from Carpenter in this episode. Um, as or Ricky did have interactions with him, he says, why he as a every time I see you, you're always uh, something you will do. Anyway, back to Joe Hendry's song. He mentions Tony DP in a fall on my mafia, but also the song's just about to get I can't take and then Keanu Harvard Gatekeeper ashes assault Joe Hendry. Joe goes for the spear guitar, hits Carver, but it unfazes him. The barrel spills out on the outside. Security come to try and disperse the two, but Carver then spears the four security guards and Joe Hendry through the barricade. Now, hold on till I see if this is recording still. Yes, it is. Um, so then we get it to then we get to our um then we get to the segment with us in the segment obviously with obviously Wakeman and their own of vanity project the um so they basically and Roberts don't make the rematch but Powell it says she's the rightful no of American champion but Roberts one says you can't call yourself that because Tatum practically beat you for the no of American title. It stands until Jackson Drake and Brad Bale are from the Vanity Project. I like how the area treat Billy like as she is a star and she's a go hammer. Then Robert Stone makes makes a decision that Billy gets some agent and Tatum practically help at the stipulation. We'll get back to what Shiloh Hill was, but later or on in the show. We do get we do get NXT progressive spotlight features a soul and Zaria telling the story of the feud basically souls is and basically souls is Zaria's just jealous of the opportunity she's or and the reason why she said that Zaria could defend her not of American title was so that she can get her confidence back up after the defeat to Charlotte and Alexa on SmackDown for the tag team titles where Soul got injured. Um, she also spoke about um, she also spoke about how Aria is anti her for being put for the Rumble and for John Cena's retirement Saturday night's main event show, and about how the jealousy happened. Um, and at Stand and Deliver, she does make reference to the moment where the two of them stand up in the ladder and so gets her off. She said it was every woman for herself. Zaria would then counter those points and say that Soul would rather keep her in Soul's shadow, and Zaria's better than Soul because um she, she kept out um it took three Soul snatchers to put her down, and she says she's gonna prove that she's better, or she's better she's better than all in the last women's standing match at NXT Revenge. Um, so so yeah, pretty good segments here. We then get the next match on the card, which is Carly Armstrong versus Skylar Ray. Now, Carly Armstrong, for those who don't know, is an inaugural Evolve Women's Champion. Evolve is kinda like know how in football you've got the Premier League on the Premiership as it's known in Scotland. You've got the Championship and you've got you go Unwell Evolve is kind of like the league on. You've got NXT, which is the championship, and you've got the main roster, which is equivalent to the Premier League. That's the way I look at it. And you've got Skylar Ray, who is the season 2 women's winner of LFG. She was part of Team Undertaker, as was Shiloh Hill. That's how these who are under WWE contract. We haven't seen Skylar or speaking of Shiloh Hill since the mixed tag team match during the Christmas Marathon 34 of Street Fight with um, Channing Statsel, Lorenzo, and current knockouts, current TNA knockouts women's champion Ariana Race, in which Sky and Hill picked up the win. But this was a squash match here. Carly Armstrong uses a lot of power moves, powering down Skylar. Skylab does get a couple of bits of it and some, but nothing too much. Callie Armstrong beats Ray with the Cal connection, turns up inside out with that and gets the win. Callie Armstrong reminds me of Monty Brown and TNA, just basically because of that move um, and the explosive nature of how she pulls it off. If you still don't know who I'm comparing Kelly Armstrong to, he was also on Arcus over on in the um in the WWE version of ECW. So yeah, um, that's who I was comparing Armstrong to. Armstrong nearly ends in the opening couple of minutes with a spine buster. Or he um or or he hits a DDT at one point. She's a very good baby face. She's very athletic as well. Her selling for the Cali connection, which made which put strong in the win column is perfect. Um, she basically put a bit of backfill up in her cell, and basically you can see the background and there's a cheerleader coming to play. She's a former Tennessee Titan cheerleader for I think the um the NFL. Correct me if I'm wrong, Todd the Spider or in the comic. And I think the Tennessee Titans are in the NFL team, I'm not sure. Um, but yeah, um, not too bad. You see Stephanie Vicaire backstage with a Shinola Vice. Uh, she said congratulations on becoming NXT Women's Champion. Half the segment is in Spanish. Whoa, half a accent, and she says go beat with WrestleMania. The two have the two hug it out and yeah, it's a nice segment because both those two are in the same sort of boat, being Latin American. Uh, Obviously, Lola of Ice being Cuban and obviously Stephanie being from Chile. Um, so yeah, so Stephanie Vaquero did her good door in her first title defense, which we'll come to in a bit. So yeah, that was actually really a nice short segment. Then we get to a title match between Tony D'Angelo and Ethan Page. This was a very physical match. You see, Tony D'Angelo hit the forget about it, double sort of cradle suplex. You see Ethan Page get a good amount of offense, and he actually had the majority of the offense. You see Victor say, you hear Victor so say, will Tony he be one of the shorter or reigning champions the last time nobody had any successful defenses with Johnny Gargano. And also I like that fact that you bring that up. Um, so Ricky Saints comes out to try and attempt to distract Tony D'Angelo, but he is dragged under the ring, and and it's revealed to be Shiloh Hill, so he's overheard to the conversation as he was still backstage in the locker room, and basically, um, and basically a hog ties him like in the cowboy movies, drags him backstage. Ethan takes advantage of the distraction, plenty more action in the ring. Obviously, um, Ethan gets a bit desperate and he goes for the NXT title. He hits the Eagles edge on the um, championship title. Um, Tony he would then take it on the outside to Ethan Page after a count and hit a spell Ash through the announce table. As Ethan Page tries to hit the twist together and on the but Ethan then kicks out again, and both men are run on and on empty after more offense from Ethan Page. Tony D hits the spine buster and pins Ricky Saints. So yeah, pretty good. First title defense here. We'll wait till we um see what's next in the coming episodes because yeah so um it looks as though um it looks as though eventually because Joe Hendry got attacked during his concert, it looks as though they are trying to keep Carver in the air, and if he beats Hendry, I think he'll move on to face Tony D'Angelo. Um, but for now, it's a good first title defense. Um, and the fans are completely behind Tony D'Angelo at this point. I do like the new character. The theme music is very ominous, but it suits Tony D'Angelo. Then we get to then we get it to then we get it to the Michaels on promo. He comes out and he says after um he thanks Johnny Gargano for the match at Stand and Deliver, but then he says after after he brought out the black and gold and Johnny Gargano, he sent him back to SmackDown. Um, so after his successful title defense, he celebrated with his favourite dessert, a playful yet non-PG analogy as he's dating women's world champion Stephanie McAir. I'm sure the snowflakes at the Flix will edit out that comment. I think I think Sean McCoho host for the live streams has a bit of competition there with Miles on, but we won't get into that. So um but yeah, then Dark takes me music outcomes and Dion Enoch's um outcomes Dion Enoch's Miles on actually addresses it back after the match with Gargano. He Lennox and says you've got two choices, either accept your fate or you fight. I'll still take your title and leave you beaten me. I goes but on says I go with option C. I keep my title and whereas um outcomes sequel on sugars after Arlo Enoch says I'm out here so securing the future of the art state and I'm going to and that title Miles on says you might be the leader of dark state, but you'll for all outcomes equal on sugars. He says he ain't the leader of the dark state, he's looking out for himself. Dark state has no leaders, and Dion's like the sugars I get here sugars says you're being selfish, but oh it's not all about you it's not all about you. The ascension happens Miles but on tries to stir the pot again. The two jump the barricade. Sugars is in the ring. Miles born after being jumped covers correctly hits the ball again into Sugar, so Enox is standing out in the full war. And the other members of Dark Stick come out to drag Sugars out from the ring. Um, so yeah, and then Sugars and Enox continue to argue, but at stage each to obviously it'll each to obviously Sugars will even in the arena, and then it's time for the second match in the speed tournament. An EK Pro Oscar takes on um Warren Van Oops now Van Oops as as I said in the first take of this video has dominated um has has dominated the European scene, in particular WXW, the promotion that they gave you Ludwig Kaiser and Gunther, Gunther as the longest reigning European um, champion in WXW. Van Dux has also held the European Championship. You've got EK Prosper, formerly known as Eli Knight, who was a former WWE ID prospect. He got called up from Evolve, but um he's also one of Booker T's reality wrestling students. Of course you get NXT talent featuring on WX of now on reality wrestling. I've got WHW on the brain here, but obviously, yeah, obviously, you have your standard 3-minute match here in the speed tournament, and this tournament though is to crown the next champion, because obviously he will with the he will with a full had to vacate the title. This isn't the first time we've seen Van Dux so we've obviously seen him so as part of the Reina Del Rey's Triple A tapings um, on YouTube every Saturday as part of the big trios match to round off the Reina Del Rey's tapings. That match was the main event of part 3 Arena Del Rey. Here's 2026. He was part of Team Europe versus Team UK. And he does look a bit like Batista. He says he's going to show the NXT universe a new definition of destruction. It does look a bit like Batista with the back tattoo and just the Zeke, although he's smaller than Batista, but he's still got the similar look. You've got Eli, right, who's kind of the more sort of filler ashy guy, although Groot's skin filler high, and he did get a decent amount of offense in this match. A fine springboard clothesline even hits a hurricane run at one point. Pro Oscar hits some good dives in the outside. You can have of it. You can have obviously Van Ooks hitting the shoot, trying to hit the shooting star press at the end of the match. EK Pro Oscar hits him insult to get the win, and then to capitalize, he goes on to the final. Obviously Van Dukes comes across as a more more heelish, but the two shake hands. Prosper moves on, and then we get to the next segment, which is obviously um, which is obviously Robert Stone, or he'd Yano Carver arrive at his office and announced he faces Joe Hendry next week for his actions and for ruining the concert. He also then goes and speaks to Tatum Paxley in the backstage area. And she's sitting on top of one of the storage shelves in the storage area. He asks her why she is sitting why is she sitting on top of the shelf, and Tatum reply, I said this is where I would like to think. Well, it gets angry and becomes a woman in hell, and I'm gonna send the woman in hell, and that bogus custom title straight to hell as the stipulation will be a casket match. Shiloh Hill the end shows off the casket. That's what he's been working on. It's actually quite a big. Often um as well. Act as well to represent the Gothic style and nature of Tatum Park. So we then get a nice sort of Kendall Grey chronicle documentary. She talks about being signed by WWE. She talks about how it's not been easy for her. She talks about being endorsed by John Cena, and being picked to be in the women's Survivor match. She talks about going on to win in that match, coming up short against Jane in the title match at New Year's Year's Evil coming up short in the triple threat match with Wool, Vice and JC Jane. She talks about being inspired by John Cena, actually arguing with her brother who would select John Cena to pull yes in WWE games. She then says our friendship publicly and single here has allowed her to explore her more comedic side in the ends daily videos um and she's backstage she shows the more comedic side. She talks about our amateur wrestling background as well. She talks about being women's Evolve champion. Um, it's a pretty good piece, but she ends it by saying she'll show a side that not many people in the NXT universe have ever seen before. Also, all very interesting. And then we get to the main event, guys, obviously, which is obviously we'll have Ice defeating um JC JC Jane to the NXT Women's Championship. Obviously, um, obviously, JC does get a lot of offense, and here, the announcers say that JC Jane could make history and be the first NXT wrestler to win, um, to win and one of the main titles three times. It should be noted, guys. It should be noted, guys, that obviously, Fallon Henley, JC Jane, and Any Reid didn't come out and match in attire. Um, the three different colours, fatal influence try to interfere in the match after Wool gets the upper hand. Fallon kick around the post like a 6-1-9 style. Any readers up on the other side allows JC Jane to hit the rolling on or Warwick X out. As she did the couple were running knees that JC hit. Low a bit on the go for the guillotine or the ice pick, depending on what you want to call that submission. At least 3 times in the match, she went for it, but the finish of the match actually says any read hit him with a vice low spins, but she hits the back first and falls on top of JC Jane 1, 2, 3 and Wool vice retains. Carly Strong with the end come out um, and get it on the apron and Charlie and issue a challenge to Wool advice. You have as they on the stage. You have obviously I think Kendall Gray out there as well. You have Aria out, but she's the in attacked by I so on the ramp should hives and off the kill out by Aria onto Aria with a cross body and that's how the show that's how the show ends, guys. So a pretty good show, pretty decent matches. Even the speed title, I thought, even the speed tournament match, I thought was good. I thought the Jada Parker I thought the Jada Parker and the Jordan match was the best match of the night. Tony D'Angelo gets a good title defense. We learn Joe Hendry's next opponent. We then get um the stipulation for the Billy Aikman or Tatum Pats Willie rematch. I thought they'd go down I thought they'd go down the ladder match route and you unify both the championships, but no, they went the casket match. Rules could be interesting given Bill Aikman and the Rose women a hell gimmick and obviously Tatum Pats Willie's Orphic uh, um sort of gimmick. You also have Shiloh O'Hill and the Icky Saints looking like they'll spin her off. You also you also have Cal Amsterdam on inserting herself on top of the card. Obviously they want to provide uh, they will want to make these evolve graduates make an impact. You have Fatal One felons who are just about to disband because I think Jane's getting called up to the main roster. I think. Ooh, it, I think both Fallon and Annie Reid or uh, JC Jane out, or maybe JC will just say she's had enough of had an offer for them and say she could at NXT. In reality, she's rumoured to be getting called up to the main roster, or it's not yet decided what show she'll be on, either Raw or SmackDown. It's reported she's already said her goodbyes. I think that's a logical step, guys, because she's held the NXT Women's Championship twice. She's a former NXT Women's Tag Team Champion. That title is now defunct, guys, because it's merged with the WWE Women's Tag title, but you get the point. There's not really that much for JC Jane to do in NXT, as obviously previously said on this channel, she's held to the TNA Knockouts Championship. So it wouldn't make sense for her to stay in NXT, because what else is she going to win the NXT North American Women's title? That's not going to make too much sense. And so, yeah, oh, oh, logically, this is the best move. Alright, guys, that's my NXT thoughts. I'll give the episode score, which is an 8.5 second time I recording this, and that is where I'll leave it all. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you all very soon. And yeah, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you tomorrow night for the WrestleMania preview with on. So have a good day, and I'll see you very soon.